The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I am joined back in America by stateside, which I said stateside when we were in Europe, and you were like, "Hey, by the way, there's not states over here," and I was like, "There's not." No, I knew that. I was being funny.
Yeah.
But I kind of didn't know. Like, I never thought about what that means.
Right.
Raise your hand, listener, if you're like me and you've never thought about how the United States of America are literally the United States of, like, you never thought about what that means. You just like heard it. Like, it's like,
it's just one thing.
It's like lyrics. You know, when you're just like listening to a song, you just know the song and you never think about what it means. That's what the United States of America was to me for 30 something years. Anyway, Chris Convey is in studio here in St. Louis. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Glaze.
Hi, Chris. And also joining us, Brian Frangie in Los Angeles.
Hello.
Hey, Bri. And then back with us, Permy
from the dead.
Permanently.
Yeah.
And she's
new
got
mama.
a perm.
And she's got a new perm. That's a hot top, Noah.
Thanks.
Noah's back, everyone.
Thanks.
What is that? You're like this. Are you trying to get pregnant again? What's going on here?
Oh my God.
You know, that's
sexy.
That's the current invasive question of the moment.
No way.
Yes. Yes,
When are
way.
you going to have another one?
You're 4 months postpartum?
And everyone's like, well, when's the next one coming?
Yeah.
By the way, postpartum, sorry, postpartum, the words, that's got taken over by depression and being psychotic.
Yeah.
Like those words when the people are like, oh, and I'm 4 months postpartum. I'm like, are you okay? And it's like, no, it doesn't mean depression. It's just that's where we first started hearing that word as people who have never been through pregnancy. That's where we associate those words with.
So you think it's a shortening of postpartum depression?
Yeah, and people just, I just learned the words postpartum from that phrase. Before I don't think I knew that phrase, but that is a little. Why are people so weird? And first of all, who are these people that are asking you this? What's wrong with people?
Literally,
whose business is any of it?
It's all across the board. It's family, it's strangers, it's
Uber drivers.
The Uber drivers.
I bet.
After you have your second kid, that question will dramatically decrease. And then after you have your third kid, no one's going to ask.
Yeah.
They'll ask if I regretted it.
They'll switch to, do you regret having 3?
I mean, that is, people do think it's weird to have one. I think my sister and Matt over this trip were talking about how one is just so easy compared to, they're like, one seems like no kids. Like just hearing about one, like how they talk about, the relief, even imagining what one kid would be like compared to 3. Did you notice that, Chris?
Oh,
Did you clock that when they go, 1? Oh, we didn't know how easy we had it.
Well,
Not to minimize anything you're going through, Noah, at all.
We've also got a tale to tell, but our whole trip almost got canceled. Yeah. And they were like, you're not we're like, maybe we should just go home. And they're like, we're not going home.
They would have rather been, I said yesterday, they would have gone on vacation at a refugee camp, eating 1 meal a day and sleeping on a cot with lice on it just to get away from their kids. They would have been like, that is fine. They were not deterred by any of the things that happened on our trip. I wanted to give up so many times and just go back home because for me, being at home is my vacation from work because I am home.
Right.
And work is on the road. So for me, I was like, I just would go from one vacation to another. I just want to go back home and now I have the whole week free because I cleared my schedule because I'm supposed to be in Europe. So let's just go home because nothing's going right. And they were like, the hell we're going home. Like they were like, we are going. And I was like, well, you guys can go. And they're like, come on, Nick. And so I went, but I did not. I just realized like how much they wanted to, and they did not miss their kids. They are great parents.
Great parents.
At the end of the trip, I was like, is there any kind of longing? And just like we didn't miss our dog, I was like, I want to see her, but I don't want her to be here. And that's how they felt about their kids. Do I want you up here, though? Yes. Come on, get on up. I have nothing to do with you.
Get on up.
There's no presents up here. There's no toys. There's nothing. But cuddles and love and podcasting.
But no names. There's no names
There's
up there.
still no names for this dog. If you're wondering if there's a name, do you want a name? Is that what you want? What do you want your name to be? Yesterday, Taylor did go take her for a walk. And she was like, I would, our plane was late getting in because that's just the way travel is now. Just never expect your flight to be on time anymore. I used to not think this way, but this is the way it is now, folks. Nothing ever will go right if you have multiple connections. But Taylor, I said, can you walk her? And she was like, of course. And I said, thank you so much. And she said, and then later on she goes, I took that little Twix bar out and she was so cute and everybody knew it. And I said, she's such a Twix. Thank you. This text made me so happy. She goes, anything for you, Twixie McGill, which is like short for Twixie McGillicuddy. So we're thinking maybe Twix because she does look
Twix
like
is a good name.
Twix bar. Twix is funny.
Yeah, Twix is all right.
Twixie?
I don't know.
Twixie.
Twix.
I like Twixie.
I've never heard of a dog named Twix either. So
And it already sounds like her name might be Trixie, and we're talking to her like a baby, like, you a Twixie?
Yes.
Like it has babiness already implied. And although Twix are not vegan friendly, I think I could get it's fine.
It also implies that we're going to get another one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it would have to be the same shape and size. Or she's out.
What's
we would get another.
What's Twix slogan? I think it's every bite.
Take a break.
No, that's
this how
give me a
shitty
break.
AI is. I just looked it up on Google, and you know how Google has AI's answer first.
Yes.
I
what
go,
the fuck?
what's Twix slogan? And then it goes, Twix slogan is every bite feels like victory when it's wrapped in gold, which I think is probably it's like Olympics slogan, but like clearly that's not what I wanted.
No, that is not. It was like put life on pause. Like it used to be a pause.
Yeah.
I used to have a reference to it in my act.
Does Twix need a moment? Twix a break from
need
the
a
norm?
moment.
Oh yeah, bite
could
into
be
a
it.
Twix.
Well, I remember when it was like 2 for me, none for you.
Oh, that's good. They should have stuck with that.
No, that's selfish.
That actually makes people buy more.
That's selfish and
because
rude.
You have to go get your own.
It is selfish and rude.
Yeah, Twix doesn't really need help. I saw this amazing TikTok. I mean, the TikTok itself wasn't amazing. The guy wasn't that compelling doing it, but he had a really good point, which he was like, there's no new candy. Candy has been the same since I was a child. And he was probably 32, but he was like, there's like Nerds ropes and there's like variations on like, they'll do cookies and cream Twix and stuff like that. But like Twix, Butterfinger, Snickers, M&Ms, there's no new like big ones taken over.
All the new stuff is spin-offs on old
They're putting
There's
caramel
no
in
new
Reese's
thing.
cups now. Just so stupid. What a disaster that is. Who wants to put caramel
Really?
on peanut butter? I mean, are you serious?
That sounds good.
Caramel
Really? No.
on peanut butter? It's disgusting.
I don't know if I'm saying
What do you mean on? Isn't it with?
In.
with.
Under.
In.
It's under the chocolate.
I think I could get on board with that.
Yeah, I could.
I really could.
I
I
can't.
think that I've talked about it before. The consistency of a Reese's cup is like biting into a sock. It's just like that chalky.
I
Like
love a good
I
Reese's
hate
cup.
it so
I
much.
love a
disagree.
good
But what
sock.
is your favorite? You don't eat candy bars really anymore. It's all
But if I was
protein bars.
going to,
What's the one that you miss the most?
I miss Nestle's red little minis, like the Nestle milk chocolate.
Wow, I wasn't
I love
expecting this. I
those.
don't even know what you're talking
I
about.
love Crunch Bar. You know, like the minis
Crackle?
that you get at. Like, oh no, sorry, that's Crackle. That's what I was thinking. No, I was thinking. I really like it was like I think I liked a Nestle milk chocolate bar. I think that was
No way.
Yes, I did. Hold on, let me look it up.
There's-
It's been so long.
Yeah, let's
I
tell
really
Nikki
do
what she
remember.
liked.
Not a chance.
A Nestle
Yeah, wait.
chocolate bar? That's it?
Hold on. I think I just really liked the flavor of the like regular Nestle milk chocolate, but I did love a Crunch Bar. I
Crunch Bar is good.
love a
Crunch
Take
Bar's
5. Okay,
Yeah,
I
Take
don't know what
5,
I'm talking
yeah.
about with the Nestle milk chocolate. There is one.
It's red?
Wait, no, it is red.
What
it is red.
it?
It's just like Crackle, but it's red. I am right.
But
But
Thank
wait
you,
a second.
Noah.
It's just a chocolate bar from Nestle.
Yeah, it was just
Why is
chocolate.
that?
Oh,
Because
I
it was
think I
the
know what it says.
minis.
Nestle.
Yes. It looks like this. Yeah, like that.
It's just chocolate.
Yeah.
That's just,
Nobody's getting
Those
that.
were so
That's just
good,
chocolate.
dude.
Where are you?
I know. I liked it.
Are you from the 1800s? That's
I don't
can you
know what's going
Can
on.
you
but I
call
liked
just
it.
a chocolate bar a candy bar if it's just chocolate?
I think so. I think, and they used to have like princess versions. Like when I was
Uh-huh,
really
I
into
do
them, they were
recall
like
the
Disney princess
versions.
version.
Yes.
Do you really?
I do recall the princess versions now that you mention it. But that's because
Oh my
Nestle
God,
bar needed some gimmick in order for people to buy it, for kids to buy, because it's just chocolate.
Hold on,
And it's
I
not
gotta
a
see if
Hershey's
this
bar.
even
They don't have the
exists.
s'mores to buttress
No, I
its
can't
sales.
find it.
Hershey's
I don't know
chocolate.
what I was thinking about.
In the words of Brian Frangie, is trash.
White trash.
That's
It is
so
a trash
vibrant.
chocolate.
Yeah, Hershey's
Wait,
is
what are you guys
disgusting.
going for candy?
Are you talking about
Like candy
chocolate?
bar.
Chris and I
Yeah, we're
have
talking about
had
chocolate.
in-depth discussions about what chocolate you can and cannot eat due to various exposure to toxic metals. However,
Leads, yeah.
Oh
particularly
God! Well,
if you're
before you
cadmium.
guys became gay, what were you?
okay, before we became gay,
I take that as a compliment,
Yeah.
and I always
mean
have.
that. I've just been listening to.
That's a compliment.
so now that we're gay,
please-
we just want our not to have toxic
I'm
chemicals.
saying gay as a pejorative, ironically, because that is not how anyone should ever talk. And I know that that's kind of like dealing with like, are you getting away with using it pejoratively, but ironically, and aren't you just using it negatively? So I don't really know what the line is,
I'm
but
sorry.
I meant that as a joke. I meant that as a punchline. I don't want anyone to think I
That's
actually
the problem,
talk that way.
Nikki, is I have heard now many people in my life say gay in the same way that you're going, that's gay or you're gay, and it's made me laugh. Whereas 7 years
That's
ago,
what I was
it wouldn't
trying
make me
to
laugh.
do. Yes, exactly. Okay, thank you for knowing the distinction. I will field any DMs from people who are offended. Only gay people, though, that are offended by me using gay in that way. And I will not go, well, this is what I meant. I will just hear you out and I will say, I will never say it again if you were truly offended by that. Because I want to do the right thing. But I'm finding it funny to use that word and
well,
again.
it's because it's shocking now because you would never actually say that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You are not the person that would actually do that as an insult. You're doing it now to make us laugh as a shocking thing because it's something you would
it's
never
so out
do.
of character.
But I would never use the F word yet in that way.
No,
That's not
no.
back to use in
Oh,
a
yeah,
funny
yeah.
way.
No, it's not.
I mean, I do use
Because
it in a
that's
joke, but I
hateful.
use it in a not ironic way. But I use it as it's not. I really stand by the way I use it. I'm not going to do the joke right now, but in my stage act, I do say it, and I feel kind of iffy about it. But I actually don't because I know that my intention is to make fun of people who say it, and it's not to say it.
if you are gay,
But-
you can use the F word, and generally it's hilarious.
And that's actually what I'm doing. I'm doing an impression of a gay person in my act who's saying that word. And I know that's like, you're just trying to get away with using it. I'll give you that. But I don't think I am. I think I was just trying to make a dumb point.
Wait, okay, so can
So
you
anyway,
guys-
but when did you guys get gay, honestly? And start before you worried about toxins. When did it? What bar would you?
I drink a Spindrift because I don't like the forever chemicals that are in the other
I
stuff.
know Spindrift. It tastes like.
It's
backwash.
good. No, it doesn't. The Spindrift is awesome.
I'm glad you like them.
Spindrift.
I think it just is like someone said or maybe they said this about LaCroix, but it's like someone thought about fruit around a tap water. And then the thought of fruit is what was injected into that. It's just like the mere,
Alright.
like someone talked to it and said, you're fruity.
But yours tastes like diet.
Mine tastes like chemicals.
Yes,
Yeah.
like diet chemicals.
absolutely.
That like somebody was drinking a chemically root beer with ice in it, and then they drank all the root beer, and then they're like, I want some water, and then they put in like sparkling water,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like it's in there, but it's gross.
It's like
I know, and I'm
somebody
addicted to them.
somebody cleaned a window with Windex next to your water filter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there a little bit?
I definitely agree with you that what I'm drinking is yours doesn't taste good to me. It's always unsatisfying. I will take them over a water for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Water is
water.
just like
God's
is
cruelest
hell.
trick.
Oh no, water's the best.
I wish I liked it anywhere outside of being so thirsty
Why
after
did
a
God
run.
do
That's the
this
only
to
time
us?
I don't.
Why do you
Brian,
make water?
I was
It's
just listening to
tasteless.
Las Culturistas, and they were talking about doing 75 hard, which is like you have to drink 16 glasses of water a day.
Impossible.
Which I cannot believe people aren't suing 75 hard for like hyperhidrosis where people's brains swell because they drink too much water. Because you got to think a lot of people at the end of the day are like, fuck, I didn't get my water in and I got to make sure my app, I can put it in my app. But you have to drink 16 glasses. I can't imagine doing that.
No, that's too much.
I wish I was someone who liked drinking water. I really do.
love it.
I know you do.
It's all I drink basically,
I know, it's really
and a
impressive.
few spinnies.
Yeah, it's really impressive to me.
What about
You're
alkaline
so
water?
strong.
I'm a total water snob. That's all I drink now.
It's got to
How
be
do
the
you
right
get it?
pH.
Yes.
Yeah, if
Do
you
you
don't
buy
get the
it?
right pH.
Yeah, I buy it. We actually have like a water store here, and you can fill, gallons of water there, and that's what we do. We just bring home 5-gallon bottles.
That's the future.
And did water get worse since we've been adults? As kids, we were not caring about.
like
where
No,
the
we've
water-
just learned more, and I'm sure Brian could tell you more. But they put fluoride in the water. And it's not great for other things. It's great for your teeth, but it's not great for like your brain and other stuff.
Okay.
But also, generally, water quality has improved in many places just because of
True.
Us
Cleanliness.
regulating corporations from dumping things into lakes and rivers.
But that's all going to be pushed back.
It'll all be
Project
pushed back
2025, y'all.
Stay positive.
Well, and just the idea of the Flint, Michigan disaster
Mhm.
makes you be like, I think I need to get this from somewhere else.
Well, when
Although St. Louis, killer water. Best.
Okay.
We were told growing up, St. Louis's water won so many awards that they stopped even submitting for them.
Whoa.
Wow.
Simone Biles
Michael
of
Phelps,
water.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
She got the more recent. I think whenever
Katie
someone comes
Ledecky.
over my house and they drink water from the tap, I think they're insane.
I just would never not do that. The only time water tastes different to me is if it's like doesn't taste cold. Like that's what changes the enjoyment of water. Like I
Yeah.
will drink
Yes.
water that's been sitting in a dog bowl for a week because you went on vacation if it has ice in it and it's in a nice glass. I will not know the difference. I literally won't know the difference.
I remember going to the Lake of the Ozarks, which is where we went vacationing growing up. It's what the show Ozark is based on. And you would go there and the water tasted like it had dirt in it. And I was like, this is a problem.
You're so sensitive to taste. It's a real good thing to be, I think. But you said even when you were growing up going to Catholic church, you would have to leave a lot of times because of the incense smell
Oh, yeah.
and because the priests were raping you. And so
No.
that part wasn't true.
No,
But I
the
just,
incense didn't smell.
I fit in a little gay joke. Yeah, you said that you would tell your parents like, I'm out of here, but you were young when you were doing that. Like I for a kid to be that sensitive to smells that young.
Hated scents from a really young age. Do you like Noah or Brian? Do you guys like candles and stuff? Nikki casually likes them. I think.
Yeah. Well, I have had a storied history of having horrible reactions to scents
yeah.
that I had to
Yes.
overcome. And so I can relate.
I relate too. I cannot stand the smell of incense, and it has to be like a very specific candle.
But I want to be a girl who does like candles, but they just
Candles
it's
are
not
bad.
me.
They're bad for your
But why
indoor
does
air
no one
quality.
talk about it? Why is no one talking about it?
Yeah,
We're talking about it right
There
now.
are girls. I finally
We have a
someone is,
platform.
but there are girls that like worry about fluoride in water and worry about chemicals in their food, and they promote candles constantly on Instagram. Like candles seems like such an obvious hazard to
Well,
me.
there are
where it's,
better
like, burning
candles and worse
a
candles. Like you could have a soy
scent.
candle, and those are better than having the
Right.
stuff you get from Target, and so they're a little bit better for you. But if you want to talk about air pollution in your home, the number one thing that causes air pollution in your home.
No.
Does anyone, Chris? Do you know?
Yes.
You know,
Go.
Nikki?
What is it?
Nobody
Your
knows.
laundry.
No, it is cooking. Cooking on your
Good
stove.
thing we don't do that.
Doing it in your oven. If you don't turn on your overhead vent, then you are inhaling the equivalent of a wildfire every time you make a chicken parmesan.
Oh my
You
god!
need to turn on that overhead vent. There have been studies that have connected cancers to people cooking without putting on their vent or opening their window. Smoke just fills your house.
I
and
like
you're just
how now
inhaling
with
it.
cancer, we're just like, no one's even trying to trace where it comes from. Everyone gets it. And it feels like we used to go like, what is this one coming from? Erin Brockovich would come in with some folders and investigate and her tits out. And she'd go, let's connect this. And now it's just like, no, it just happens.
Yep.
I read about a bunch of people getting cancer because of a Bitcoin mine.
Oh yeah,
That was like
'cause of all
close by.
Yes.
all of the radiation from the servers.
And I did not know that Bitcoin. I thought Bitcoin was an idea. I didn't know that it needed
Oh, no,
servers.
Nikki, it's
I
real.
really had no
Oh, Noah
clue.
loves it. Holy smoke.
I really thought Bitcoin was
relate.
just
Bitcoin
numbers in a machine.
is bad
like,
for the environment, Nikki.
I know. What the fuck,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah, no.
We will not investigate this when we get back from break after this. All right.
Hey, the last podcast was the one we did with your brother-in-law and
Yeah, we
sister,
need an
right?
Yeah, it was.
update.
Is it
let's get
update
into
time?
it. Yeah, it's update
So
time.
part of me thinks like when you talk about your travel woes, that it feels like you're telling somebody your dreams and nobody wants to hear your dreams. But I think we kind of have a decent story here.
I think there's a way to tell it in a way that we don't get too caught up in the details because travel nightmares are all kind of similar.
Yeah, so let's plow through the travel nightmares and
yeah.
get to the cool Taylor Swift things and the cool Vienna
And
stuff.
thank you for saying that. Like, let's put out a reminder out there right now that no one cares about dreams.
Nobody cares about your dreams.
Everyone already knows this. This
Metaphorically,
has been
literally.
something that has been totally publicized. I think we've all heard some kind of version of like, it was said in Always Sunny, I think in the pilot episode, that I don't want to hear about your dreams. It's like vacation photos. Unless I'm in them and there's sex going on, I don't want to hear about your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even say I don't even care if I'm in people's dreams, because sometimes people will share a dream they had about me as if there's some kind of significance to it. And all it says to me is that you're struggling with me in your life. Like, it just tells me that there's something it doesn't help me in any way, because people be like, Nikki, I dreamed you got SNL and that you won an Academy Award, and like it's like means something to me, like I'm gonna get it because of their dumb dream. And I'm like, no, you need to go to therapy and talk about your relationship with your father, and whose name was Oscar or whatever, and you were molested while watching SNL.
But
and
it wasn't her father, but it was.
But it was, and yes, exactly. So anyway, let's get to what happened to us. What was done to us? So we did the last podcast from Dulles in a DoubleTree that we got put up in. Very nice.
It was nice of them, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice of them. It was a nice hotel. We enjoyed ourselves. We did the podcast. And then we were like, okay, let's go sightseeing. We went to lunch. It smelled bad in the restaurant, but we really liked the menu. So we sat outside. We're sitting outside.
And during the lunch. So the last podcast, people don't. Yeah. We thought we were just going to get on a flight to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, everyone knows now what happened. Taylor's here. Sorry, the dog's barking. So we're sitting at lunch and we're having fun, just talking and chatting. We've accepted that we are leaving at 8:45, which is literally, 24 hours, 32 hours after we were originally supposed to leave. And we now have to go to a different country. We were going to fly direct to Vienna. Who gives a shit? We've accepted it. It's fine. We're going to go to the Smithsonian. Things are going to be fine. We're sitting at lunch and I just look at my phone and I saw the news that Eras Tour is canceled.
Unbelievable.
In Vienna. And I put my head in my hands and I didn't say anything, but I just looked at my group and I just said, the worst thing happened. The worst
I mean,
thing.
unimaginable. Something you wouldn't
canceled?
even be able to predict.
Yeah, no, ever. And they go, is a flight canceled? And I go, you wish. Well, I didn't say that, but I go, no. And they go, what? And they go, concert canceled? And I'm like, yes. And I just was so sad. And they're like, maybe it's not true. And because I saw it on an account that was like Eras Tour concert account, but it's not an official account.
Yeah, so it said Eras Tour canceled or something, and then we saw something that was more recent that was not sure if it's canceled yet. We're like, maybe it's not canceled. And then 30 minutes later, it was everybody was like, this is canceled.
Before I saw it on your
canceled.
Instagram stories, I saw it on CNN.com.
Yeah. You typed in .com.
I've been doing that a lot lately, going to CNN.com. I don't know why.
No, good for you.
I just I'm
not checking just an app.
I'm just procrastinating, and I need a website to go to because I don't go to Facebook anymore or anything. So
right.
CNN.com.
I will say that, just side note, on Girls Chat last night, and we're recording this on Tuesday, by the way. Okay, so it's Tuesday, and last night at 10 p.m. Central Time on Girls Chat, Hala comes in, who you know from the podcast, and she's like, "You guys, drive by," which is what we say in Girls Chat. If you don't have the time to catch up on everyone's messages and you just want to say something, you just say drive by, and you go drive. She said, "Drive by. If you guys want to get an ab workout, this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life." And I said to Chris, what do you think Hala is so late to the game on?
Oh, no.
For bringing it to our attention, being like, this is the funniest thing. You guys have to see this.
Shake
as
weight?
if we hadn't seen it.
Shake
what?
weight?
Oh, that's really funny. He goes, is it, she should have 5 years late or 5 days late? I'm like, 5 days late.
Oh.
But it has been everywhere for 5 days. What is the one thing that has been everywhere for 5 days that is making everyone laugh? And that Hala somehow had
non-political.
Not political, yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm not plugged in either.
Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics?
Yeah.
In the Olympics.
Oh, it's in the
Olympics. In the funniest thing.
Oh, the pommel horse guy.
Nope. No.
What?
Yeah,
5 days old.
That's not crazy, but this is bigger
funny.
than
And
all
it's
of those.
bigger than that one.
It's bigger than the Olympics.
That's an ab workout?
Yeah, no.
Because you laugh so hard.
She's saying because you're laughing so hard.
Oh, I get it. Okay, because you're laughing so hard. Something happened in the Olympics that was so funny. I have no idea.
So ridiculous. Come
Can
on.
I guess, even though I know the answer?
Wait,
no,
can I get
because
another hint?
of the second part of that sentence?
Pommel horse
it's
guy.
Should we?
just
It's an Australian woman.
if you have not seen
Wait.
this, I am going to lose my mind. CNN.com is not doing
See,
you any favors.
Brian and Hala need to be friends.
Oh my. Okay, I don't know.
You're plugged in.
I am.
Brian.
I bet you
The
it's-
breakdancer.
He'll know.
No, I do not know because I purposely
Shut the
Raygun.
fuck
I
up.
turned off breakdancing because I said I was watching it and I was
Raygun.
like, this is
No,
not as
it's
good.
not about watching the breakdancing. No one watched
It wasn't
the
as good as I
breakdancing.
thought it was
It's
going to be.
It's about having a fucking phone and being online.
I
And,
don't
like,
have a
how
phone,
have you-
Nikki. I go to CNN.com.
Wait a second. Wait a second. How have you not seen Raygun, the breakdancer? I was laughing so hard at
Raygun?
Hala acting like this is just some kind of
Look at me.
novel news.
I'm on Hollis'
She's so
side.
cute because I think she literally checks her phone every 5 days. So she works.
She is
under,
behind, yeah.
yeah, she works under a rock, literally. And so she is behind, and
Kuwait.
she often does this on Girls Chat. She'll be like, "You guys." She just found out about Chapel Roan yesterday too. Like last
Man,
week,
the
it was Chapel
ascension
Roan.
of Chapel Roan. I mean, she was putting out videos in 2019.
Wait,
no one
how
was talking
have you not
about
seen
her.
the breakdancer?
I
Can
haven't.
we show him so we can get because no one is witnessing this breakdancer for the first time anymore except Brian Frangie.
I've
and if you're a
never
listener
seen-
who hasn't heard about the breakdancer either, what is going on?
I was
Look up
concerned with
Raygun.
the
Because I
young
gotta
now.
say, I showed Chris. She was, and I am not. You know, I don't even like the Olympics. There's me. My algorithm is not
It's a wonderful
giving me
event.
Olympic stuff. They don't. They know it's not going to be successful with me. But she was on every single thing. I showed you. It was like 5 posts in a row about the
She was like
breakdancer.
Nikki Glaser after the Tom Brady roast.
Honestly, it was everywhere.
After Noah Lyles got COVID and fucked America and all the future events and then started talking shit about NFL players, I was like, all right.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm out.
What?
I was all in
Yeah.
on Noah Lyles. I thought he was amazing.
I knew
He's
he
the
got
fastest
COVID.
man alive.
And I know he beat the guy the first time, and then he got COVID and he got bronze.
Yeah,
with
which is
COVID.
great, which
But
is
then what did he-
impressive.
Okay,
All right,
is
what's
this her dancing? Oh yeah, this is it.
Okay. So is there context to this, or is it just watch the video and you'll understand? She's just not good. She's just not a good
I
breakdancer.
mean, look at these moves.
Let
what do you
me
think?
She's
look it up.
32, which is impressive that she can move like this at 32, but it is fucking insane. Someone said it looks like their cat before bed, which I thought was really funny.
Breakdancing is a stupid sport. It should not, I don't think it should be competitive. I don't think it should be the other person fronting while the other person's dancing. I think that's insane. That the one person's dancing and then the other person just kind of like crossing their arms, like nodding their head, like, oh, yeah, you think that move was good? I think if they're going to do breakdancing in the Olympics, it should be judged like gymnastics, where you go up, you do your routine, and then you get a
I
score
think
out
it
of 10.
is.
No, there's like your opponent is up there like reacting.
What?
And it's match for match.
And then
If
that then who decides who wins? The opponent reacting?
I mean, I think there's judges, or maybe the audience goes, "Oh,
Yes, how many people go, oh, snap. There's an oh, snap-o-meter. Oh, my God. No, I thought Hala was late to it. Brian, I cannot believe, have you been just really working really hard or something and not on your phone a lot?
Oh yeah, Brian's very busy.
I've been
He
working,
is.
but I've been, I've been watching the Olympics and I've been watching all sorts of things. I just totally missed this Australian breakdancer. I can't believe it.
I know
She's also
you've
like-
seen it. I know it showed up in your feed, and you just probably were like, "I'm not going to watch anything breakdancing," and you scrolled past it quickly because it's everywhere.
yeah.
The funniest rendition of it has been
disappointed.
Rachel Dratch on. Rachel Dratch did a hilarious impression of it
No
on Fallon last
way.
night.
Really?
It's brilliant. It's so good.
It's also one of those things that's so big that people do their own jokes and put them in memes and stuff, and you're just like, I can't believe how funny everybody in the world is.
Yes,
Australians
I know.
are doing funny things. Everybody's making fun of this girl in a different way. She's taking it pretty well.
I
though.
haven't seen her reaction yet. So the quote thing I read about it was that breakdancing will not be in the 2028 Olympics. The only reason it was in this is because the dancing federation that was trying to get ballroom dancing in, and they couldn't get ballroom in because the Olympics knew that it would not be lucrative in terms of people don't want to see it, which that's interesting that even matters to
Yeah,
Olympics.
of course. This is a money making.
But then why do they have sharpshooters and fencing? Like who is that getting Gen Z interested? So they picked breakdancing to get Gen Z interested, which I don't think Gen Z is.
Yeah, Gen Z.
Gen X was into breakdancing.
Yeah.
Clearly, this
Like,
one's
it wasn't
32
even-
years old doing the kangaroo
Skateboarding's
hop
working.
across the dance floor. Yeah.
Skateboarding's working for sure.
But breakdancers, like people that are really into it,
No,
the
all the
B-boys and
competitors were
B-girls are
35
fucking
years old.
furious about, they said it was like,
It would be like if a grade school basketball player went and played against LeBron.
yeah.
Like her doing that, that's how ridiculous she looks.
And she qualified because I think her husband was a judge in the qualifying. Like
No way.
they've determined that.
Well,
Yeah, and
apparently-
she has a PhD in
Yes,
breakdancing,
yes.
by the way.
Wow.
I was just going to add
She
that.
is-
You should
So she
not.
did-
No athlete should have a PhD in the sport they're competing with. That
It seems
that almost disqualifies them from being athletic to have a PhD in the
yeah,
sport.
like you shouldn't hit the books.
Can't be a nerd and a
you
jock.
shouldn't be reading. Yeah, we know that. You just get passing grades because they want you to come.
Although
to
there is
school.
that one. Is it Gabby Douglas who has like a doctorate and she's like going to Yale or Harvard or something?
I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some that are just, some people are just extraordinary in so many ways.
Yeah.
But I think the breakdancing thing is so embarrassing to the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Are they
Embarrassing.
humiliated by this?
They have to be.
This is insane. That
Insane.
Simone Biles and that woman
Yes.
got to be in the same fucking
Yeah.
parade.
Yeah, well, then also, like, there's only most people are talking
Same
about more people are
parade.
talking about Raygun now than almost anything else.
Without question, she has taken the gold in terms of media spotlight coverage
That's right.
of these Olympic
Yes.
Games.
took it from Pommel Horse.
she won the gold.
She did.
Although
Yeah, she
Pommel
beat
Horse
Pommel
guy
Horse
is
guy.
going up on
She beat
users.
Turkish
on followers.
shooter beat Turkish shooter.
Yeah, he was cool.
She beat
yeah.
the the girthy pole vaulter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was an
Marshawn.
incredible moment. That's insane.
That was
I don't understand how you would let your penis be that willy-nilly if that could possibly ever interfere. Like it's obviously such an impediment to like hitting the pole. Like why that there wouldn't be like a cup or something for that?
No.
Like how do you that seems really
He's
like a
endowed.
no-brainer. It's happened before. This isn't the first time it's happened.
yeah, I can
But
I imagine,
doesn't
but
all of
Jesus.
this stuff, Nikki, make you like the Olympics? Like being like the zeitgeist
Yeah,
stuff?
that it's kind of shown that it's not that cool and that it's not that prestigious
No,
and that
but
it's
on
not to
top
be
of
taken
those
that seriously.
things-
I kind of do like that.
On top of
Every year,
those things, there
Go ahead.
are Olympic athletes who are competing to the peak of their athletic ability.
Yes.
And then you also have these little side stories, which are fun and funny.
No, I love the memes that come out of the Olympics. I am all about it, and I think that's a fun thing that I'll look for the next time that we
Yeah.
go into the Olympics is like how many funny pictures and cool pictures and just that one picture of the guy surfing where he's like standing straight up.
oh, so cool.
Was so cool. The one of the girls rugby team where she picks her,
Yeah.
lifts her up to get it. I mean, there's some cool shots. Obviously, amazing feats of athleticism. I just don't care, and I don't think they care about my feats of comedy either. Like, I think it's okay to not care. I am starting to care about football, and I'm sincerely starting to
Yeah.
care about it. But I just don't. I care about gymnastics, but I didn't watch it. I don't know what I had a nap going on or something. I don't know what was happening with me, but
It was like 2
and let me
weeks.
tell you about what I dreamed about. I was at the Olympics. No,
but it wasn't the Olympics.
so I will say that this ties into our trip because as long as I can find the jokes within it, and I don't want to be like, I'm such a comedian that like, as long as I can make it about a joke, I can get there. But as long as there becomes a task of writing jokes and who can write the most jokes and the fastest jokes and the best jokes, the quickest about something. That's why I used to love Twitter when there was like an event we were all watching together because it was like, who's going to make the best joke about this thing we're all going to make a joke about, but who's going to phrase it the best? It was like a competition.
It's always Zach Borenstein.
Almost always. That guy nails it so well. But we were doing that. That's what we did. That's what I did. The fish show. As soon as I came up with that fun fish game of just like
Oh, yeah.
making breaking news stories about all the fish attendees, it became fun for me in a new way. And then I have museum fatigue that I get
Wait,
almost
have
instantly.
we even finished like the Taylor Swift stuff? Because we also need to get to kind of the magical moments
Yes.
that came out of
And
that.
viral
But we can
moments.
talk about museum fatigue. I just want to get
But
back
I just
to
want to say that one of the most fun things that came out of this
Yeah.
trip was we were going to museums, and I did this one time when we were in a museum in a fight. It was like 2021. and I started taking pictures of things, and I was like, oh, I'm just like not in the mood right now because we weren't talking. It was before we learned how to work through things. And I was taking pictures of, paintings, and then I was putting them on my Instagram story and like making memes out of them of like, when you find out you have herpes.
It's one of my
like a guy's face or whatever.
favorite Nikki Glaser Instagram stories.
It's
series.
so fun. Yeah. I think I've highlighted it for a while. It was once highlighted, but anyway, thanks, Brian. And so that's what we were doing at the museum this trip, but I can't even share any of them because they were all based on inside jokes that happened on the trip. So we would just take pictures, and then Chris, me, Matt, and Lauren were all like in a it almost felt competitive that we would get home from a museum, and then we would all we even in the cab, sometimes we would just sit in the lobby of the hotel on our phones silently, just sending to the group chat a picture of the museum and then a caption with it, and just making each other laugh while sitting in silence next to each other. And it was the most fun thing ever.
It was the most fun thing on the trip.
We're gonna make like a book out of all of them because there's literally hundreds of them.
Public domain,
I think now we're going to start a tradition of going to cities together, and then we have to go to even if it's a dumb museum.
Yes.
So that we can
get content, because we went to a couple museums that didn't have a lot of content. We went to like the Museum of Natural History, and that just had stuffed like, antelopes and
my favorite
zebras.
museum.
And there's not a lot you can do with animals' faces.
No.
They're all kind of looking the same. So it's always like a look of shock, or
what's
it's
the
like
face they make?
They're all kind of just like, ugh. And so we went to a palace, but anyway, that just made it so much fun for me, and honestly was the highlight of my trip, was sending each other meme photos. And then we also all watched a movie together. They watched it in their room, we watched it in our room, and we made jokes the entire movie, like almost like Twitter, where we were just writing each other, and we started at the same time, and our goal was to collectively all just make as many inside jokes as possible. It made it so much fun. That is why I like watching things with a group. I like doing things as a group. Doing things alone sucks because you can't make inside jokes. Bottom line. Back to the story. We find out Taylor Swift is canceled. I'm devastated. I'm like, I just want to go home. Like, I don't want to fly through Zurich. I don't want to now get on a flight for 8 hours and then another flight for an hour to then land, and we don't even have our fucking bags. Like,
you were dejected.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
Yes. Even though I've been to 17 Taylor Swift shows, this does hurt my overall number, which was going to end up being 22, which is a Taylor Swift number, and it meant something to me to have 22. And also, I just wanted to fucking see the show.
Why is 22 like a number for her?
22. Ooh, it feels like one of those nights. We ditched the whole scene. I could keep going, but it's a song.
Right, so what's it
like
Called
when you
22.
sang?
Did you like when I sang? Most people hate it. Also dogs really respond to sounds that humans can't handle. So it's So I was sad. But my sister and Matt and Chris were all like, it's going to be okay. I wasn't like crying sad. I did hear a lot of stories about Swifties like literally hyperventilating, in tears, catatonic. Obviously, that probably has something to do with the fact that it was maybe the only show they could go to. And yes, I've been to 17. And so maybe I wasn't as sad because of that. But I was fucking sad because the only reason I was going there was for those shows.
And you just came off like 4 days of hard travel in California. Like you're constantly traveling.
That was a lot.
And we had basically a 30-hour layover in DC, and it was hot out, and it smelled in the restaurant, and it was just all bad timing.
Yeah, and I just finished my meal, and I'm always sad after meals because I have to wait another 5 hours till I get to eat again, and it's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do till then? What is this new thing you're doing, biting my leg and digging on my thigh? And so we were sad, but then we started walking, moping. I would say I was moping.
You were moping. You were like Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I was a little bit like, I was hanging my head.
It was like Arrested Development.
I was being a little pouty bitch.
That one episode.
Yeah, I was being sad. And so, but I was just like, you know what? I don't get to be sad about this. I'm just going to like suck it up. And I'm grateful that the people I'm with aren't huge Swifties that I have to like deal with their feelings about it, because everyone's fine.
Yeah,
if
we were
anything,
stoked about Vienna too, and the hanging.
Yeah, and I was not on board with those things yet. I was still out to lunch on those. What is it called when you're like out of? I was still
wasn't out to
working
lunch.
on it. What's it called? I know there's a turn of phrase for it, but anyway, so I was still unsure about how I felt about that. But I think I was just being a little bit like hyperbolic when I was like, I just want to go home. Yeah, I was definitely lukewarm. I was Luke Skywalker. I don't know what that means.
Nobody
okay, anyway,
does.
so I
Lukewarm, cool hand Luke. Other Lukes.
Luke Perry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a
you were Luke Perry
because
about
I was
this.
dead. I felt like I didn't want to be alive anymore. And I will say this too. Please don't judge me for this. I can't help my thoughts. This is my first thought. Please, no one come at me. You cannot cancel me for this because I literally am just saying what I thought and I can't help my thoughts. There is no free will. I can't choose what floats into my brain. But I did not even think about the terrorist attack at all for the first, I would say, 2 days or day. Like, I just thought, I was just like, I don't get to go to a Taylor Swift show. There was no part of me that was like, I almost died in a terrorist attack. And then anytime someone said, but at least you're safe. And I was like, I would have died doing what I love. And that was a joke, but it was kind of, it didn't occur to me that I only almost was in a terrorist attack.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it didn't happen, I feel like you can joke about it, right?
Yeah.
There was no attack,
mean,
and it's amazing. I'm glad they prevented it.
Yeah.
That
Heroes.
Holy shit,
Bunch of
yes.
heroic Austrians.
what a decision
making sure
to
that
make,
doesn't
too.
happen.
I mean, what a bold... Imagine you're the person with the job, whatever it is, chief of police of the city, that needs to say, we have to cancel the Eras tour. Imagine you're in charge of that decision. It takes balls.
I mean,
a lot of people
that's a
wouldn't
really
have done
good
it. They
point.
would have said, we can get it done. We can protect. Really
Has there
crazy.
been a statement from the Taylor camp?
No, and I think there's a lot of think pieces about why she has not talked out about it. I think it's a safety issue. And there are a lot of Swifties that are discussing on Reddit, like, I know she can't say anything, but I am really hurt that there hasn't been anything, but I understand why she did it, but I'm still hurt there hasn't been any kind of acknowledgement from Taylor. And it's just like,
She'll explain it perfectly.
she
Yeah.
always does the right thing.
Yeah, her team's
And she's doing the
figuring
right
it
thing
out,
again.
probably with authorities. She probably can't say anything.
I know for a fact she's fucking devastated and terrified and deals with so many threats against her life probably and stalker situations and just like security issues that we don't even know a fraction of. So this has probably been very traumatic for her. I'm sure because of what could have happened. I mean, it was supposed to be an attack, I think, outside the stadium and potentially within the stadium.
And they're probably trying to figure out a way to beef up security for other shows.
Yeah, Wembley's going to be hard. For people better get there early. That's the next show. So it's this weekend. But and it's sad because there used to be such a huge crowd that would gather outside the stadium to celebrate together and all get together, and those aren't going to be happening
what a
anymore.
sad thing.
Sucks.
But
It
the
sucks.
silver lining, which I thought was really cool,
Yeah,
were these sing-alongs.
yeah. We found them almost immediately when we got into town.
so
We
how?
went into the
Like, how'd you find out that those
we just
were happening?
went to like the town square where I had already seen on line that people had been gathering. So there's already kind of like evidence in my feed. Brian wouldn't have seen it because he didn't even see the fucking Breakdancer. But like for me, I'm getting like definite like news updates from Swifties. And I saw, there's a crowd gathering. And I assumed there would be.
We didn't even talk about like the TikTok.
Okay, so we're at the airport at Dulles, about to leave, or I'm just kind of accepted it. We went shopping. I spent a bunch of money at Madewell to literally, I didn't need any of the things I bought. It was the first thing we did after we found out the news. And I just like, was like, oh my God, I see why people spend money to like feel better. And I bought all black clothing. I will say that too. I bought 3 black things. I was like in mourning and they're all baggy and awful. They all look like things you'd wear to a funeral. I was seriously so sad. So then we get to Dulles and we're hanging out, and my sister and I were like, I think we had already made a TikTok about, or a video on my Instagram story about going to a Taylor Swift show, and our flight was delayed and stuff, and it had gotten a little traction. I was like, we should make another one about this. And she was like, yeah, maybe. And then we sit down and she gets out her notebook and she starts writing it. And I was like, kind of not in the mood to do it. And that I had said, maybe we should do one hours prior. And I was like, I'm not in the mood now. I just want to go get food and get ready for this flight. And she started jotting down some notes. And then I was like, well, I can't just let you do this on your own. So then I started helping. And then we wrote this, we took the bridge of Cruel Summer and we wrote a parody song about the tour, the, shows being canceled. And we wrote it really quickly within, I would say, like 10 minutes. And we really like struggled over it. She was very upset because I was trying to rhyme like pants with like sense or something, like, and I was like, if we just sing it in a way it can rhyme, and she was like, no, it has to rhyme exactly. So she was really adamant about that. We kind of got into it, we settled on this final thing, and then we kind of forgot about it. And I go, we're about to board our plane, and I'm like, Lauren, we have to record this now because it's about being at the gate, and this will not work out of context because we can change that line and do it later on the plane or something, but it really helps if we're there at the gate. So we're boarding the plane. We get out of line. We leave our bags with Chris and Matt. And we go, we're just going to go record this and sit down in the chairs at the gate. So our plane is boarding. We're recording this. And it's really hard to do because she has the lyrics up, but they're hard to memorize. And we're taking each line by each line. And we're fucking it up over and over. Like, we can't get through it. We probably did like 10 takes. And at this point, Chris and Matt are at the front of the line. And I'm like, we got to give up. Like, we'll just rewrite it and we'll write it for the plane. And she's like, no, let's just do one more. So we do one more, we fucking nail it.
Yeah.
All right,
And
Lauren.
then we instantly run over to Chris and Matt, who are being like kind of detained at the front of the line. They're trying to board.
Slide.
And
yeah.
there's a snafu. Something has gone asunder.
Wow.
And so, thank you. I got a word a day calendar 3 days ago, and those were two of the words. And so then, that's not true. And so we go, what's going on? And I'm like, oh my God, another fucking issue. Like, they're not allowed to board. There's an issue. Your seats have been reassigned. I'm like, what? And we get on, and the seats are now in the 7th row, and we're all 4 in the 7th row. And we go, what's going on here? We get on the plane, and what do we have?
Like the best business class seats you could possibly imagine.
Possibly imagine.
We got an upgrade.
Wow.
I have no status with United. I have no status with Austrian Air. I have a little bit of status with United. I mean, I am on like the bottom. There's I don't know how it was like a miracle. We still to this day don't know what happened, but we got to lay down.
Unbelievable.
And have meal service and hot towels and tea and breakfast.
Nikki experienced almost none of it because she was asleep for probably 7 of the 8 hours.
But that is the reason you love those seats, is because you can sleep horizontally the whole time and get a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
So we boarded at 8:45. I was asleep by 9:45. And then we land in Zurich, and my sister and I have got 6.5 hours of sleep.
Wow.
And Matt
And when you land, we find out that video
has
has
3 million
exploded.
views.
Yeah.
Wow.
Insane. And to this day, right now, I think it's at 5.8. It was at last night. I'm sure it's at 6
On
by now.
TikTok or Instagram?
Isn't there?
Yeah,
Aren't you
on
on one
TikTok.
of the?
And then
yeah. Didn't someone
they
pick it up?
played it on like Entertainment Tonight or something.
Wow.
They're like,
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser and her sister Lauren were
Yes.
stuck at the gate.
And it said Lauren Glaser on the Chiron. And she was like, that's not my name, but that's fine. But and then we started getting recognized around Vienna for the TikTok. Because
my God.
the thing is, most of those millions of views, if you are a Swiftie that is in Vienna, someone has sent you that TikTok.
Whoa.
Someone you love that back home.
Right.
Someone's like, you got to see this because this represents your experience. And every single Swiftie that was going to Vienna had that moment of finding out. Someone texted them or they saw on their feed that was canceled. That's what was my question of everyone I met was like, where were you when you found out? Like, what happened?
Princess Diana.
It really was that moment. And literally everyone I talked to was like, I cried a lot. And then we met a therapist while we were in Vienna. That is a local Vienna therapist. And so she was dealing with clients who live in Vienna. And she was like, Nikki, I think I want to write, I'm not doing a good Viennese accent, but she was like, Austrian accent, but she was like, I want to write a dissertation on.
I want to write a dissertation.
That was good. She was like, on the phenomenon of Swifties, because I had 4 adult women sobbing in my practice on Thursday because of the news, sobbing, losing their minds. Like, and I understand that. And I go, do you hear about Taylor Swift a lot? Just not even from those 4 women, but like in general. She was like, all the time. All of the time. It is something that
It's a mass psychosis, potentially.
Is it? And I said, it is emotions. Like, people going to therapy are trying to work through emotions, and they're usually girls who are blocked from their emotions. And as a girl who's blocked from my emotions, Miss Taylor Swift helps me access them. And that is what I attribute me loving Taylor Swift so much to.
If you can get a PhD in breakdancing, you will eventually be able to get a PhD in Taylor Swifting.
I would probably take those courses. In fact, I'm actually
You could
doing
teach the courses.
I'm actually going to be teaching a course. I'm doing for the University of, I think, Alabama. Someone asked me, they're doing a course on Taylor Swift and they want me to do a guest speaker.
A guest lecture.
Yeah, a guest lecture. So I'm doing one coming up, I think in October. I'm zooming in to a class.
So
That's amazing.
It's gonna be so
Alabama,
fun.
you can take a class on Taylor Swift.
I think it's Alabama. I might be wrong.
What's the purpose
I
of
don't
this class? What's
remember.
the major that you're in? I mean,
It is. Let me pull it up. Oh my god, I typed in Taylor Swift on my thing, and it's like
there must be some
1,000
academic
messages.
connection to Taylor Swift. I guess you could take just like Allie took a class on like, I don't know, the Beatles, I think, in college. But doesn't that
Yeah.
just seem like if I was a parent, I'd be like, why am I paying?
no, because it's if you are involved in analysis of poetry and stuff like she's a poet. University of Tennessee, Knoxville. It is. I'm writing to start a convo between you, me, and the fabulous Taylor Swift class. Professor herself, Darcy Morris. It is. Let's say what it is. I'm not sure how much she told you about the class. It is called Gender, Culture, and Media, Taylor's version, and we will be examining her from every possible angle. In our semester-long study of Taylor Swift, we will explore fan culture, celebrity culture, girlhood, music industry ethics, marketing and promotional strategies, and social media theory, along with race, sexuality, and feminism. My most important classes in college were about media. And talking about sitcoms. Honestly, there was
Yeah, because that's the things that you were interested in.
yeah, but I learned so much
Yeah.
that helped me. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any kind of college course you can roll your eyes at if it really does cater to what you're into and what your parents are paying for.
Well, it should be preparing you for. It just happened to prepare you for your career.
Yeah.
Whereas, if there's a connection between this Taylor Swift class and what these people will ultimately be doing as to make money, then I said seems like it's covering a wide breadth of topics, which is probably why they got it approved by whoever approves classes.
Yes. But I think it teaches, obviously you'll be writing papers and analyzing things. Like no matter what you're analyzing, writing papers and having to find some meaning in something that might not be on the surface there is valuable. And
Right.
and consider just studying art of any kind.
Why is
I think
Taylor Swift
valuable.
so? I mean, I'm coming around because why is Taylor Swift not as legitimate as like the Peloponnesian War or like you read a Shakespearean sonnet? Like, why is Shakespeare elevated? Because it's old,
Dude,
Right, exactly.
that's what I'm saying. That's why people talk about like the Beatles or Bob Dylan or I took a jazz course that was so interesting, but it's like, what is the difference? They were
What was like the syllabus like for the jazz thing?
it was all over the place.
Yeah. It was
We were
more about
going
the stuff
from
you didn't learn.
1 to 5, then A, B. It was crazy. It was the chapters we weren't reading.
Yeah.
That was really we watched the Ken Burns series Jazz every class.
That's
And
great.
It was once a week, and it was a 3-hour long class, and you just watch the movie, and then
mean-
you write a paper on it at the end of the year. And
That's
you read,
insane.
And you read
Yeah,
two
what a
books
class!
about it. It was awesome.
What a great way to spend the money is to.
But
sit
you know
down
what?
and
It
watch
was
that Ken
great
Burns
because it
stuff.
taught me how to analyze art and literature and literature because I had to read books about jazz as well. But it was
Right.
like it forced
But
me to watch
insane
this
that-
documentary I never would have
Yes,
watched.
insane that you're just watching a movie.
Yeah.
But I think we have to go soon. But I want to
Final
hear.
thought.
Well, no, I want to hear more about the sing along stuff. What did you feel about that stuff?
Honestly,
Oh no.
okay,
Uh-oh.
so
I thought it was amazing.
okay. This was the
I know it's a
cutest part.
letdown for other people that
No,
were
it
expecting a
was
Taylor Swift
so
show.
Cute.
But
I
all
just
of these-
have some notes.
Oh no! Don't do this.
Don't do this.
Just talk about the good things about it.
Well, I'm a comedian, Chris, and I gotta make fun of
So
some
that's-
stuff.
Did you know that?
And by the way, there's nothing more I love than getting together with Swifties. I've already said it. Like when Eras Tour ends, I'm going to travel to towns where there are going to be Taylor Swift sing-alongs just to go dress up and sing with other Swifties. I love it so much. What I love about it though is organization. And that's what we were lacking in Vienna because it was a last minute thing. But the speaker systems weren't good enough
Right.
for all the single. And I know I'm being negative and you are wanting me to be positive. What I did love was everyone was dressing up for 3 days in a row,
Yes.
dude. 3 days in a row, people were dressing up, coming together in thousands at not only the town square in Zurich where the cathedral was, but also
in Vienna.
in Vienna, but also the Cornelia Street.
That was cool.
Because there's a song called Cornelia Street, and there's a street called Cornelia Street in Vienna. It's called like Cornelia Gas, which is Cornelia Road or something, whatever it was. And but it's this beautiful little tucked away kind of street where throngs of Swifties were there. We went on Saturday night. This has been going on for 3 nights. That was the final night of it. There were thousands of Swifties.
Yeah.
And all singing her songs and people blasting her music out of the window, just like people who lived in these flats. I'm calling them flats because it's
I
Europe.
guess
Otherwise,
it's so European.
I'm so European.
I took a lift up the flat.
Yeah, I was going to say that. They hauled these speakers up in a lift.
Well, but first
got
I
it
put
out
them in
of
the boot. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many pounds they spent on these speakers? I don't even know. Oh wait, no, wait, that's euros. Yeah, it's crazy.
Many
to think
euros, and they probably weighed a lot.
They drove
of
them down the
kilos.
autobahn. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh god. And I mean, there was just.
But I thought it was pretty, obviously I'm pretty far removed from the whole like Swift universe. But the fact that everybody banded together and was out there singing the songs.
It was the first time I had really smiled since finding out about the news when we walked into that square and suddenly we got out. I was so ready to go back to the hotel. I was jet lagged, but Lauren and Matt and Chris were all like, we're pretty feeling good. Let's like keep walking. I had also like really, my feet were like swollen from the
we
plane.
even talked about the benches.
Oh my God.
Do
So
you have another podcast this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about tomorrow. But yeah, my feet were just like not feeling good. And so I was just like ready to go home. And I was so sad. Like when I get tired, I get really depressed. And I was just like, I don't even want to be here. And then we walked in that square and I was just like, oh my God, my people. And then we started singing Lover and they were singing the songs all in the order of Eras Tour. And then I said to Chris and Lauren and Matt, I was like, you can just leave me here because I knew that it wasn't something you would want to stay for a really long time. So they left me for you guys stayed for probably 3 songs, then you left, and I stayed for another 5 to 10 songs. Yeah. And then I had to eventually go because there was just too much. There was a speaker in the front, and I wasn't close enough to the front because I didn't want to push my way through just to be like, I want to sing, but people in the back weren't singing as much. But so the speaker was in the front, and so everyone was singing with the speaker. But if you are just left to your own devices singing a Taylor Swift song and you can't really hear the speaker, you will sing way faster than is natural. Everyone does it when I perform alone. I always perform faster. You speed it up. So in the back, we were singing faster than the people in the front, and it was fucking with my life. Like I couldn't handle it. And I was trying to get people on board. Like I was trying to clap along with the one in the front so people could maybe like get on board. And it was just causing too much chaos in my brain and also I wasn't with the group who was singing first. So I was late to everything. I just couldn't handle it. And so I had to go to Zara and escape. But that was the only thing. I was like, I wish the speaker system would have been better. And I wish so many people wouldn't have just been there spectating. And that if you would have been there, you would sing. Because if everyone sang, we would all be on the same thing. But there are too many people just like, what's going on? Who were just like kind of judging. And I didn't love that. But I loved how many friendship bracelets were being exchanged. How many just like looks of like, I get it, girl, that we all gave each other. But everyone really seemed in great spirits. It didn't seem like this like
I thought it was magical.
Yeah, you were
people
moved.
On balconies, people there's a family that was getting water for people because obviously on the street there was no shops or anything around shops. So
That's
like
nice.
everybody like banding together. I think
it was awesome.
I loved it.
It's like I just love Swifties so much and I love being one and they're so cute and it was truly, and Lauren and I were getting like recognized a little bit because of our Swiftie video. Like that felt good. That
people were nice to you.
Yeah, it wasn't like a ton of people. And I almost didn't want to be recognized because there's a video that someone took of me getting recognized and having a picture taken with. And I noticed in the video, I had to cut it because it looked like I'm being almost rude. Because as soon as we took the picture, I just like slinked away. Because I just never want to make Taylor Swift things about me, even though that seems ironic because I talk about her all the time. But I just felt like this isn't my thing to be like, I just want to like blend in. And I kind of just want to I want people to go, wow, this girl's really into it. Not this girl wants attention for like, I
like it because you are in your own world in these things. Like it doesn't seem like you're worried about any of the things around you, that you're just fully engaged and immersed. That's what I like it for you.
I really do. I disappear from every worry I have in my life. I am not
because you're basically sober
about my
and this is something that is like a full escape.
It's a full escape. It does.
And you don't want to be self-conscious. You don't want to have eyes on you for it because you just want to blend in and
the last thing I would want to do is like take away from anyone's joy around me. So it's just literally for me, it feels amazing. And it was awesome. And I want to really just reiterate to any Swifties out there, find a sing-along to go to. I know that you're like, maybe I don't have anyone to go with me. Go alone. No one will care. Dress up. If you can't afford Eras tickets, if you're not gonna be able to go, you are not going to miss that much if you just go to a sing-along. It literally feels the same to me. That is no shade to Taylor. She puts on an amazing show. But if you want a big fraction of that experience, it is just being around people singing her music together. Because you get filled up in that way going to these. So I know it sucks if you don't get to go see her. And I meet so many Swifties and I go, when are you going to Eras? And they're like, never. And I'm like, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry, because you have an opportunity. Tickets are sometimes $15 to go to these nights, and you got to go do them. You got to.
Oh, yeah, the sing-alongs.
Yeah, the sing-alongs. Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a legendary trip. More stories to come from it, I'm sure, tomorrow on the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We got to go. Brian, I also want to hear about what's going on with your TV making experience. Yes, one thing, Brian.
One thing. There is a new chocolate bar. There is a new chocolate bar. I forgot about it. Mr. Beast came out with a whole line of Mr. Beast chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Beastables.
Okay.
Beastables. And they say on the package, the best chocolate in the world.
Does it really?
Yes.
He is being canceled right now. Did you know that? Or people are trying to cancel him?
Why? Oh my God, we have to go.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was a legitimately good dude.
Yeah,
What happened?
Dude.
I'll just Google it.
Next time on.
Yeah, next time on the Nikki Glaser podcast, we take down Mr. Beast. Just kidding.
No.
We wouldn't touch it. But I have noticed, I watched a video the other night of someone who worked for him talking about how it wasn't a great experience. Listen, anyone who is that successful
that's happened many
have gone
times.
About it in ethical ways.
Right. But that's happened many. There have been many videos about Mr. Beast. I have beef with Mr. Beast, and he's weathered them all with explanations.
He'll be fine. I'm not worried about Mr. Beast.
There's going to be a video. If that video's legit, there'll be a
I'm not worried about it.
There's going to be a video.
I'm not worried about any of this.
There's going to be a video in another month where they make amends, and he goes, actually, Mr. Beast is pretty cool. He reached out to me.
100%. So it's going to be fine. Try the Mr. Beast chocolate bar. It's the greatest chocolate in the world. Drink Prime Energy. Logan Paul for life. We got to go. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't be good. Bye.